Hello, everybody. My name is Justin Serrano. Thank you for joining me for this week 3 on Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. We were able to select two of these tests and see what our results are. To jump into the prompt, we look at a video by Susan Cain talking about extroverts and introverts and how the light is shown in more of a positive light on extroverts and less so on introverts. Through our last century, there's been a prominent role for extroverts in the workplace, being seen as outspoken leadership and all that good stuff, while there's been less highlights to the introverts, even though their roles are important as well. We also She also presents the idea that we need to have both pros and cons looked for both extrovert and introvert to really strengthen the role for each type. I would like to jump in and say this book right here, The Loudest Duck, really gave me some insight on some different personalities and choices of introvert and extrovert. This book is by Laura Liswood. This book goes in to show that the Western society or Western cultures really highlight to support Susan Cain, highlight an extrovert or somebody that speaks up. The loudest person gets heard and their ideas are shared. On the opposite, we have like Asian cultures where they have this saying, the loudest duck gets shot, or the nail that sticks out gets hit. And that may cause a lot of reservations, especially culturally. So, in the workplace where you have diversity, this could be presented, and just because they don't speak up doesn't mean they don't have great ideas. And this idea of introverts and extroverts having this different level of highlight, positively or negatively, really can be detrimental to a team or organization. So, do I agree with Susan Cain? I agree that this is a real thing, especially in our society, being Western, where people that speak up get heard. I do feel there are pros and cons to both. And just to share a situation, I've sit on boards and coalitions, and you're around a table of different professionals from all walks of life, and some people don't speak up and they don't get their opinions heard, or they don't um, provide support to a position that they may lean in, and that could actually lean and waive kind of the decision making part. And I've been around people that get sad or hurt because their feelings and thoughts don't get heard. So this can affect a lot of decision making or value to a team. Um, but also, I've heard on the opposite where people have talked, I'll say, talk too much, or kind of make segues that really distract an organizational thought or a purpose of being there, which can lead others to be upset with the person because they're not focused, or they're not you know being very attentive to what the actual calling of the situation is. So there's a there's pros and cons to both sides, right? I also know experiences where I worked with people that don't really like to speak up too much, but as long as I had rapport with them, they were able to complete their work and then provide it to me, and together we execute on a project or whatever kind of decision making, and it works out. So there's pros there for an introvert as well. Um, I think by using these personality tests, and I'll show you mine now. So here's the first one. I'm a Commander ENTJ. I took the two different tests and I got the same ENTJ, right? So these tests really feel consistent and accurate. But I think how we can use these in case we are having difficulties is if we have more insight on a person, we are able to navigate the space, I would say, a little bit more, and be able to create an atmosphere or a place for you to like approach them, reach them, and connect with them on a on an even playing field. So even if they don't want to speak up on a lot of things, if you have the rapport and they are still willing to share with you, maybe independent, then you'll know who they are, what they're about, and then you'll be able to execute in a way that fits you together, a collaborative effort. So these are my thoughts on the Meyer-Briggs type indicator. I hope you all do well and enjoy the rest of the day.